Sheila McCoy, Hatfield McCoy Museum, FredMcCoy.com. Sheila's behind the camera.
Hi guys, hope you're having a great day.
Cotton Top is in the floor.
Oh, he jumped up on me. There he is. You can barely see him.
There's Cotton Top,
Good
aka Gizmo.
Good boy.
But he answers to anything if he thinks you've got a treat for him.
Oh yeah, he's smart.
Gonna be a short video. Once again, guys, we're making some shorts here just to fill you in on something. We're starting to see that these people that we talk to, let me explain this. Guys, we have just about covered everything important that there is to cover in the Hatfield McCoy feud, especially things that's been in dispute or that's never been responded to, and how people have always just let Devil Lance Hatfield fan club just say what they want and build him up, and nobody wanted to argue or anything, so they just let it go. We've just about covered all that now. Yeah. So when some of you write or text or call and you leave a message and you say, do cover this, cover that, if you will look, we don't want to be rude and text back and say, well, you evidently you haven't watched the videos, because we've done at least 2 videos on that, or 3 or whatever. Somewhere back through those 300 or 400 videos, there's probably a video that's going to cover what you're going to ask at this point. So the reason you don't see us commenting on that question or doing a video or texting you back and saying, go watch this video, 400 videos, it's just too hard for us to go back and send you the link. They're in there. You just have to go look for them.
Yep.
This video here, and we've covered this story. We've covered this story there with Randall McCoy, and it came up again the other day. Who is that picture, and who is that of? And that's Randall and Sarah McCoy. That's actually Randall and Sarah McCoy. You'll never, ever see with any documentation, with any proof, that that's not Randall and Sarah McCoy. You know, how you go there is, have you ever seen anybody show up with this picture and say, that's Mr. and Mrs. Clinton Jones, that's Mr. and Mrs. Dave Johnson? You don't. The reason why you don't is, that is Sarah and Randall McCoy, and they are looking up at the gallows. They had a front row seat. They're not up on the hill. They're down here at the ground looking up at the gallows while Cotton Top was being hung. Now again, they were not happy with that. They wanted Cotton Top to go to prison, spend life in prison. They didn't want to kill nobody. That's the way they were. And especially they thought he was innocent. That picture has come into question as to who that is. That's family. I can't tell you who your grandma and grandpa is, but I can tell you who our grandma and grandpa. I can tell you who our great-great-grandma and grandpa. I can tell you who certain great-great-uncles are and aunts, but I can't tell other people's. And some people, and that's okay. I'm not going to get irate about it, but I wish people would stick to their own families. And if you've got proof that somebody's not somebody's family, you know, we've got videos where not my great-great-grandparents, a picture has been shown as my great-great-grandparents, and it's not. But yet you've got people here that's shown of Randall and Sarah McCoy without a question of a doubt that is, and people dispute it. And reason that picture's coming up here, I want to show you something. Okay. Let's talk about Cotton Top. We've done a couple of videos on it. There's been several videos. There was one real good video the other day done, and we bragged on it, bragged on the people, and we meant every word of it.
Sure.
But it's also brought to the forefront when you look at things. It makes you. We've got it in our book, but let's take this picture right here, for instance.
Okay. Let me see what it.
Let's take this picture right.
Did it not print?
Right here.
Or whatever. Okay.
Now Sheila's going to take a close-up of that in a minute. She'll take photos and let you be able to look at it. But if you'll look right down here, this is the graveyard.
Right.
Right down here is where the historical marker is.
Okay.
Where they're talking about the hanging of Cotton Top.
Okay.
Now we say there, the historical marker is down here at the Pikeville College. And mine and Sheila and other people throughout the years, many years, since they put the historical marker up down there, have always wondered, Why did they put the historical marker down here? Well, if you was a tourist coming into town, or if you was the judge executive or the tourism director, would you rather have people, when they're snapping pictures of a beautiful college building in the background of where the historical marker is? Or would you rather them be on down the street taking pictures of a parking lot, housing project? Would you rather them be down here? Now, we're going to show you that picture in a minute.
Okay.
But let's show you right here. Here's the historical marker down here at the college.
Right.
Look way up here where this X is.
Yeah, I see the X.
That is where the actual hanging gallows were.
Oh, okay.
That is where the hanging gallows were at. See this slope on that hill, how nice, evenly sloped that hill is?
Sure do.
There's another hill directly on the other side that's just like that. The sun's is shining. They said there were 5,000 to 7,000 people there. And again, she'll take a close-up of that and she will put. Now, here's the hillside here. And here's the other hillside that would have been there with no houses, no buildings.
Okay.
At that time, it would have been vacant.
Right.
And the hanging gallows would have been anywhere down in this little valley here, because you'll see these people up on this embankment. They're up on this hill right here. This picture was taken up on this embankment right here, overlooking the gallows.
Okay.
Now, we're going to show you that in a minute. You determine. We'll show you how we come up with that.
Okay.
And this is not yesterday or last week. This is years ago.
Yeah.
But there's videos and stuff on top, and it brought a lot of interest. And it was a well done video, and we just thought we'd add to it. Here's your housing projects, or your subdivision, whatever you want to call it there now.
Yeah.
Now, would you rather have a historical marker down here and people getting out in front of people's houses and trying to take pictures of historical markers, or a housing development? Or would you rather them be down there and have that big, nice college building in the background? Here's the hill where the people were at. Down here's where the hanging gallows were, somewhere in that area.
Okay.
Now, the reason we know that is, guys, the first time you ever get a chance, and you can see it a whole lot better on the internet.
Right.
That's the one I ran on Sarah Circle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here's one just with not, but they're in there.
They're right there. Yeah.
And when you go online, try to get the best, most clear picture you can, and look at these last row of guys up here.
Yep.
Sheila had to point at them probably, or she's going to take a close up. What's in the background there, Sheila?
Tombstones.
That's tombstones up there in the background, guys. That's clearings. This is clearing back here. That's a clearing up on top of that hill, and this is tombstones up here on that hill. If you will look, you may have to get you a magnifying glass, but if you will look close enough, you will see exactly what Sheila and I and a few others have said throughout the years.
Right.
Now, it's just like the Basil Hatfield marker up there on the Deal Cemetery.
Yeah.
Very few, there's 3 parts, I believe, to that video, and very few have watched the first part. First part's the most informative, probably, as far as, I read an article where somebody wrote the other day and said they went up to visit Basil Hatfield's grave while they was at Randall McCoy's. Guys, that's not the Basil Hatfield, that was the sheriff of Pike County.
Nope.
And that's just like that historical marker at the college. When these people were doing this Pike County Hatfield McCoy tourism stuff and building up and putting these monuments in places and distributing things all over the county for people to go see, to have a draw, they wanted you to come to the most populated parts. They wanted you to come where you could spend money, where you could get gas, where it's hotels, where they wanted that. Eat. And it's just like the Basil Hatfield sign up there, giving the impression that that's the Sheriff Basil Hatfield. It's not. That's Basil Hatfield's nephew. Had nothing to do with the feud and stuff like that. Same way with these pictures of the historical markers. Just because you see something doesn't make it true. Just because you read something doesn't make it true. You've got to investigate. You've got to research. And you know, gentlemen standing there, and Sheila and I have been all over that hill. We made videos of Octavia Hatcher, a couple on her. We made a couple on Cotton Top. And the gentleman that was up there the other day doing that video on Cotton Top was exactly right. He's more than likely standing right there in the area where Cotton Top is buried. Of course, it's an unmarked grave.
Yeah.
Probably nothing more than a sinkhole. And if it is, if it's even got a rock on it, and it probably don't even have a rock, it's probably just, he's down there somewhere. Interesting history.
It is. Very interesting.
And if you'll get your magnifying glass up there and stuff, you'll look and you'll see that graveyard. Now, you got to remember, this was back in the 1800s, 1890s.
1890.
There wasn't a lot of graves up there like they are now. Now the graves come plumb over on the side. But you got to look up in the background, up toward the top of the hill. Octavia Hatcher wasn't buried yet. Had Octavia Hatcher been buried, no doubt we could have all seen her big monument like Devil Ance's there in the background. But you can see smaller tombstones in the wood line, in the trees. And Sheila will do the closing on it. She will put all these pictures at the back for your reading and for your information.
So that you all can look at it,
I'm sorry, babe. If you ever see anything that you, I ain't gonna say disagree with, because some people don't, you couldn't make two people agree on
everything.
Flavor of an ice cream, much less Hatfield McCoy feud. But if you ever see anything that you think that Sheila and I are incorrect on, and you can prove us wrong, please contact us. We welcome you guys. We don't want to put out no false information, no fake information, nothing that's, and we try not to. That doesn't mean that we always do it, but I think we're pretty accurate on most of our stories that we do. We try to be. So Sheila will do the closing.
Hope you're having a great day. Please like, subscribe, and share. And we'll catch you on the next one. Bye.